learn to delegate, but learning to delegate also means that you trust who you delegate to. And when you are delegating, it can't be 50-50. It can't be, oh, I'll delegate, but then I'll still tell you what to do.
Your value increases when you add value to others.
Hi, guys, and welcome back. And we're looking at trust today, and trust playing a vital part in building relationships and fostering connections. So, I want to dive down deep into building trust with your employees, with the partners that you work with the people that you choose to surround yourself with, because that is what builds that relationship with them, and that's what gives you the confidence to be able to proceed and kind of give that project full-handedly to them so that they can achieve the level of satisfaction and success within that particular role that they're defined to. um, and so as a founder or as a solo founder, what happens is you always try to cling on to as much as you can, because you know that you'll be the best person to do that particular job, or you feel that you can do it much better than everyone else. But if you don't enjoy that process as much as someone else in that role, then obviously you're not going to do justice to that particular project or justice to that role, to that full capacity. So it's always best to learn to delegate, but learning to delegate also means that you trust who you delegate to. And when you are delegating, it can't be 50-50. It can't be, oh, I'll delegate, but then I'll still tell you what to do. You've got to learn to delegate it and ensure or trust that they can actually bring out the best output. And then, yes, you do work as a team together to be able to form ideas or to form new ways to tweak what they've done, which will because of the fact that you as a founder have the bigger and long-term vision for the company, so you know what it takes to kind of build that into a or scalable method or scalable model. So you would obviously sit with them and try to understand them and where they're coming from, and kind of put your vision through. But that's where it stops, and from there, you can always be jack of all trades. And when you're trying to be jack of all trades, and um what happens is you'll end up not being successful at any of the things that you do, because you're just dividing yourself too thin, and you will not be able to understand the integral part of every moving part. And when you are in the business field and when you are having a company that you're running, there's so many moving parts that are going around. So you ideally want to, whether you're working in a capacity where you're working with freelancers, or you're working with full-time employees or part-time employees, it doesn't matter. Whoever you delegate work to, or whoever you give that particular job or task to, you need to be able to fully trust them to be able to come out with solutions and success for that particular task. Because that will lead to the satisfaction in them fulfilling that particular role. It fosters a positive environment in your organization, and it fosters that connection, or it fosters a healthy relationship between employees themselves. So you might have 2 or 3 employees working right now, and when you have those 2 or 3 employees, they're obviously going to talk, and they're obviously going to have an idea of how this organization is building up to be that scalable, or that dream business that you're obviously portraying to them as a founder. But that doesn't just stop with words, it also starts with action. So you need to understand that when you are speaking big talk to your employees, you need to live up to that expectation. You can't say, I am very inclusive and I want more ideas coming in from my team, and then just going ahead on a daily basis telling them what to do. That's where a lot of founders find it so difficult to let go, because when you let go, they think they're losing control. That isn't the case. You need to understand that when you let go of certain tasks and certain things that you're holding on to, you should know that that person that you're giving it to is able to fulfill it 100%. Otherwise, you shouldn't have chosen them to come into that task and to actually effectively take that task in the first place. So if you're hiring someone, if you're putting someone onto a particular task, you want to ensure that you know that you can let go of that particular task. Because a lot of times in that day-to-day aspect, you want to control that variable, you want to control how that output comes out, but at the same time you also don't want you want to bring in someone for that role, and you're not willing to work as a team. Rather, you want them to just follow whatever you say because your way is the best way. But you might be portraying to your team that, oh, I want your ideas, I want you to tell me what, uh, do some research and come back and let's actually evaluate these proposals, or let's evaluate the cost benefit analysis. Let's do it. But at the end of the day, if you're just going to choose a decision based on what you feel is right, then don't hire people for that role that you're thinking, because you're not going to get the best out of that role. So job satisfaction is a main thing, and job satisfaction does not necessarily mean it's only to full-time employees. It could be for anyone who's associated with your organization and is helping you build a particular task or project within your business. um, yeah, and then having that open communication and having trust within an organization also fosters a sense of security with how you're taking forward that particular role, how you're taking forward those tasks, how are you scaling those tasks to fit in into the larger scope of your business. All that comes and all that falls, like it plays a part in building that structural integrity. It's a foundation that you're building. So trust is ideally one of the pillars that your organization should be focused on. And if you cannot do it, um, maybe you've got to think back and think about how, and if, for example, if you were to be a multi-million dollar business, how are you going to function if you did scale to that level? Because if you did not have that dream, then you wouldn't be able to instill those value sets or the perspective in your business right now. Because you need to be able to be in a position where you're able to understand what sort of a culture you're going to be setting and how you're going to scale that culture as your team grows. And it's at the early phases that that you instill that, the blood of this, like the literally the blood of the organization, which is what are your value print or principles that your organization is going to be thriving for, or is going to be instilling into employees and instilling into the partners that you work with. So, and then from there you go to professional growth, because once you give a particular task, once you give responsibilities to people, you need to be in a position to also allow them to grow within those roles. And when you allow them to grow within those roles, they will learn, they will find ways to that solutions that they require to bring to the table. They will find those solutions and they will bring those solutions with a plan A, plan B, plan C. Because as humans, we know that not everything that we do is going to work out. So we always know that if this didn't work out, or if my idea doesn't work out, what else can I possibly give as an idea, or what else can I possibly bring to the table? How else can I figure out the solution? We are solution finders and solution seekers. So you need to understand that when you give a task, you need to empower them the ability to actually learn within that role as well. And further, just furthermore, adding to the trust factor, once you are seeing certain milestones achieved and success achieved, do find ways to recognize and appreciate your partners, your employees, and the people that you work with. Because once you start appreciating, you're going to start seeing that they're going to value you more, and at the same time they're also going to be able to feel the impact that they create in the organization. So they will always, when another task is given to them, they're always ready to go that extra mile. And so it reduces their stress or anxiety about their role. It increases their confidence in that particular role, their loyalty to that organization. It gives them that, it takes away the fact that they have to look at, oh, I'm gonna start looking at work life separately. No, I'm actually going to enjoy what I'm doing, and how am I going to bring those two together and kind of enjoy my work and my life together. So how can I balance that? They're not going to have no two sides, just pulling them apart and being like, no, I've got to choose between work, I've got to choose between that, I'm going to choose between my hobbies. They start having confidence in the role that they're in. They start having confidence in what they're looking up to and how they're contributing to the bigger outset of the organization. And overall, it will bring a positive company culture. And when it does bring that company culture to a positive level, how that scales is upon your employees, because you cannot instill positivity into all your employees, because employees will speak, employees will talk with each other, employees will have teams of their own. When they know, they'll form friends and relationships within the organization. And when you allow them to do that, when you have a positive culture, that will spread like wildfire. And that's how your company can also succeed and seek success in the long run. Because when your employees and your partners that you work with, and your subordinates that you work with are happy, they will obviously in return bring customers to you. They will take care of your customers and also ensure that whatever they do for the business is valuable at the end. And so, you know, the trust factor plays a vital role in any relationship for that matter. And in business, if you cannot trust and if you think you can do everything, then why are you in business in the first place? You've got to ask that question. If you feel that you could do everything by yourself, then I don't think you would have scaled this organization to the point that it is, or you wouldn't have a programmer sitting there, you wouldn't have a social media manager, you wouldn't have a person working on your sales. So if you can do everything, then good, go ahead and do it. But if you cannot do everything, learn to understand that trusting in the process and making sure that you're able to trust the people that you give the work to is really vital for you to take it to the next steps. Guys, I hope you like this one, and please do like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon so that you see whenever I post a new video. And no, I'm looking forward to this upcoming year where I can bring you more content, and I'm able to consistently connect with you all. Please go ahead and type some topics or anything that you want to see in the comment section, or if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or any channel, and reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to help you guys. Take care, guys. Cheers.